Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, with family's everything.
Until it's not. Hello, Andrew, and welcome to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 2.
Oh,
Do you
two.
like the I have to keep
Yes, yes,
it
totally.
was number 2. It'll be easier for me to remember. By the time they get to 11, 12, I'll have totally forgotten which episode it is. But I remember it's 2 because we had the continuation of the hat.
Yeah, it was the continuation, and I don't know why I thought it was over with, but it wasn't.
No, it was to be continued.
I know, I think I
Yes.
confused it with Salt Lake.
Yeah, because they ended their fight and then it was a whole different day.
Yeah, and then
Um,
it opens with the
Yeah,
dance.
yeah, they ended Mary's party and then they didn't go back to it. I thought they should have continued Mary's party, but we're on Beverly Hills and I don't I do you think they're just arguing because I
I
don't
want to
know
know
why
why
I'm
the hat
holding
couldn't
the
stay.
hat.
I know, I want to know why the hat couldn't stay on. That was the only question I have.
I think it was a little top heavy.
Well,
Um, I think I don't really like costume parties
Kyle and
anyway.
Dorit need a therapist.
No, I think they're both
Hurt.
projecting.
Right. Like, yeah, they do. They
There's a
need a
lot of
therapist.
projecting going
Yeah,
on.
they're not
They're
capable of
both
having this
projecting.
conversation alone.
I've just thrown away my marriage of
Yeah.
30 years. I threw away my marriage of
You should have been there for
10.
me. You should have been there for me. I should have been there for you. You should have been
Yeah,
there for me. They need a therapist to be like, you guys needed to be there for each other, but you couldn't because you both had what you had going on.
right. Now, I want to go back and look how many relationships has Kyle destroyed on the show? People she was friendly with that then she has an argument with.
I mean, you could look at it from other perspective too. How many people have destroyed relationships with Kyle?
I don't know. I mean, like her and Lisa are no more.
Okay, but
Vanderpump.
Lisa also had
Um,
almost every main character on Vanderpump Rules had an issue with Lisa at some point.
on Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, and her other
Well,
show.
listen, they all should listen. Lisa should have a problem with every single one of those people on Vanderpump Rules. Half of them were hiding Pinot Grigio in the bathroom. They were jamming in the back alley.
Please, this
I
is after
mean,
they were famous. I'm
okay,
talking
but
about
I'm
like,
just saying that
please.
Lisa, I think Lisa Vanderpump put up with a lot of shenanigans with those kids through the years.
I
I'd
don't
have
know,
a problem
whatever.
with them too. And
Kyle, Lisa, Kyle, Dorit, who else?
Kyle and her sister, Kim.
Okay, but then
I mean, a lot of Kim problems. Yeah. She had problems with Brandy in the beginning, then she
so did
didn't.
Kim.
I'm just saying she did have problems with people
How many
and
problems
then
Lisa Rinna have?
Lisa Kyle and Camille grandma.
Camille had a problem with half the cast.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing Kyle has a thread here. I don't think
So has
Kyle is
Erica. So has
innocent.
Sutton. Come on. No, I'm not buying that.
All
Not
right. Well, I think she's been on a long time, and I do think that she has burned some bridges. She
okay.
did with Lisa, but
So has
um
Teresa.
yeah,
So has
yeah,
Tamara.
yeah, true. Yeah.
So has Lisa Barlow.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to
And
talk about that later. Um,
Phaedra, so has Kenya. So it's like the main ones that are the stay throughs, Bethany, Luann,
yeah,
Ramona. They've all
right.
had these
They
issues
all
with
have their
people.
problems. All right. Once again, the problems now is you said this about me at BravoCon. You said this about me on Amazon Live. You said this
Yes, but
about
as I
me
told you,
on
I
Watch
don't
What
like being
Happens Live. You said this to me.
BravoCon and Watch What Happens Live are Bravo programs. So I think
I
that's totally
understand that.
fair.
I get
NBC is
that.
filming those,
Yeah, but I'm
not the
just saying
podcast, though.
some of them is you said this on a podcast about me.
That
It's
I
a
don't
little
like.
picky-uni.
Yeah, but
And
not
we
on the
need
Bravo branded stuff. That's part of the
okay, yeah,
show.
but as I told you, I don't know what was said. We're here.
Then follow along
I
with
need
it,
a
podcaster.
you need a spreadsheet to figure out who said who where, a whole
But we're
algorithm.
experts, so level up, girlfriend.
Okay. I'm just saying
I'm
I
just
wish that
saying. I'm just saying.
I know I wish that they would have my mic is moving. I wish that they would stick to
The
what we
script?
see. What we see.
Okay. I
That's
think that
all.
they need to be real because that would be like, oh, let me act a certain way on camera and then off camera act a certain way. We've seen that for years. Off camera, you said this. Off camera, now it's just being captured on a podcast.
Don't you think the women should just do you think when Erica was going through everything with Tom and the embezzling, etc., She kind of wanted grace from people like, hello, I'm going through a lot right now.
Totally, but
Can
that was
you
on the
give
front page of the
me
LA
a
Times.
hot moment? Okay. Does Dorit now last season, Kyle was going through stuff with Mauricio and Morgan, and let's face she who must not be named. And she kept on saying, will you all like give me a moment, give me a break here? Dorit deserves that same moment.
I don't think Dorit wants it.
Well, that may be true or not, but I
That's why
think
she's
she
being so open about her reality. And I think that what Dorit saw was that like Erica was like Erica faced her issues with Tom head on.
she did. She had no choice.
She had no choice. Kyle did not.
She did not.
And look
Dorit
where it got
is.
her. And so I
Dorit
think
is
Dorit
though.
is facing them head on. And that's what the difference is. And I think we're going to see Dorit have a better season through it because of it. She's going to be emotionally healthier than Kyle was because of it, because she's being very
Maybe
open
I think she's healthier to begin with.
emotionally. Yes.
Yes, I do. I think Dorit's a much stronger woman than Kyle is.
I think Dorit hasn't had to go through so much trauma too.
Yeah, well, she wasn't a child star and stuff.
She was robbed as an adult, and that's traumatic, but she was an adult when that happened. She had more
And not
tools to deal
only
with that.
that, you're forgetting where Dorit really comes from. Her parents are Israeli,
Yep.
and there's a different toughness
Oh,
there
yeah, of course.
than Kyle growing up in Beverly Hills with a showbiz mom.
Totally.
Kyle does have a lot of anxiety and moments of so worried all the time about how everything's going to be taken.
So they go to her house. Bozo.
Yeah,
I almost said
yeah,
Bozo. They
Bo's
go to
house.
Bozo's house.
No,
Was a little
Bo's.
surprised where it was located. It looked like there was like it wasn't the best
It
area.
would look like there was a park across the
Yeah.
street or something. It
But
looked
I feel like it
open.
might have been like her first house that she's like loves and that like, obviously because she has her
I
Malibu
thought it
house.
was beautiful. Her backyard was
Oh, no,
spectacular.
that's what I'm saying. I think that like once you enter, it's different for her and her backyard was spectacular. She also has a house in Malibu because they had that other scene where it said Bose's
Oh.
Malibu house. And she
Oh,
talked to
yeah. So
Sutton
she's
before
got two
Sutton's party.
houses. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is probably the house she goes to work in.
Yeah,
And
like
the
I feel
other's
like it's
like
close.
her.
Like if anyone that knows like downtown LA, even like just Hollywood, it's like you like if you're gonna work around there or if like you're consistently like near offices. And remember, she was at Netflix. She might also like
Uber.
travels a lot. She was
Yeah.
probably like Uber. Could be in their LA office. Probably had to go to San Francisco a lot. Probably need to be relatively close to
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
LAX.
yeah. We
Like
all get it. Yeah.
do you know that Bose was on Bethany's plane the other day? And Bose went
Oh.
up to Bethany and was like, "Hi, Bethany." And Bethany didn't even know she was on the show, but was just like, "Oh my God, Bose in St. John, like knew her at the marketer." And then she was
Oh.
like, "Why are you in New York?" And then Bose was like, "I'm on Beverly Hills now." And Bethany was like
Oh.
mind blown. So she like took out her camera, of course, the influencer, Bethany
Of course,
Frankel.
but wouldn't you think she would know
Bethany was
since
like,
she's
"I
such
had
good
no
friends
idea."
with Kyle?
Bethany was like, "I had no idea. I didn't put two and two together. Oh my God, good luck." And Bose is like, "I know." And then Bethany comes back to her seat and she's like, "She's a real boss. Like, wow. Wow, that's a good one
Yeah,
for
but
them."
here's the thing. If she's so close with Kyle, wouldn't you think she'd know?
Don't you think that because of
Just
her,
saying.
because what maybe that changed when Bethany decided to go against Bravo and NBC and
Oh, maybe that she lost
no,
Kyle and
no, they
oh.
just don't talk about Bravo and NBC.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't know. I haven't
I would
seen them
hope
together
not.
for a while. I'm
No.
just
And I
saying
would hope
that. I
Andy
haven't.
and Bravo and NBC would know not to mess with a 25 or 30-year friendship. And especially knowing that, like, I don't think Kyle's even in Bravo's ass that way. Kyle has other projects, other things. Like,
Yeah, I don't
she's
know.
friends with Kris
I don't
Jenner.
know.
She's friends with the.
I don't know. I go through waves of care about Brittany.
Listen,
I'm
Kyle
Brittany.
Richards
Why do I
does
call her Brittany?
Lifetime
I
Bethany.
go through waves of caring
I don't
about
really care about Bethany.
Bethany Frankel.
So, Bose at her house, you said that the champagne flutes, you were
Well,
shocked
I'm
that
going to tell
Dorit.
you, I couldn't believe that Dorit didn't call it out because remember when she was at Teddy Mellencamp's and she was having her champagne in like a red wine and she
I
made
think
such a
that
big
Dorit has
deal
put
out
her.
of it?
I think I'm going to be honest here. Dorit has put her foot in her mouth over the years with Garcelle,
Yes.
has had some very tone deaf moments.
Yes. So
And
she
I just
didn't
think
want to
she might
call
be,
out
I don't think
a
anyone
new
said it
cast
to her.
member.
I think it's like unconscious, like just
No,
being.
I don't think it had anything to do with Bose's race.
I
I
I think it has to do with new girls on the show in general. I think that
I
Dorit
just
has
don't think
always
she
putting her foot
thought
in
to
her mouth.
herself, this isn't the glass that you're supposed to have champagne in, but I've already gone down that avenue.
Okay.
If I go back at it, I'm just going to be raked across the coals.
I also
That
think
was
we have to
mine.
remember that for the first time that it
In
involves that it's
forever.
the first time where it's not like, okay, her robbery was very traumatic, but it was like there was only so deep she could go. It was an active investigation. There were all these things happening. Her marriage is really the only real thing we've seen other than the robbery, right? And so I think for
Yeah.
Dorit, she has big shit going on right now. Maybe she didn't
Yeah,
think
she
about the
does.
champagne flutes. Maybe when Dorit was like coming from
Oh,
Hermes.
well, you want to know what? It was maybe after she had to take off her shoes that didn't match. She would have wore different shoes with her Chanel outfit if she
Yeah.
knew she had to take it off. So maybe she was thrown by the fact she was barefoot.
And listen, this is what I'm saying. I don't think it's a race thing. What I'm saying is that she was
No, it had
unaware.
nothing to do with race
No,
at
no,
all.
but yeah, but you talk too much. Shush, let me finish. It her issue with Garcelle that did have to do with um just not knowing some things, lack of awareness. I think might have changed Dorit's willingness to go out on a limb to judge someone say something without just knowing more about them. That's all I'll say. So yes, does it is it a coincidence that this person is a person of color? Yes. But good. If Garce even if Dorit is not a racist, which I don't believe she was, I never thought she was, the
No,
same way that I
never.
never thought Kyle was.
Right.
I think Kyle thinks differently about some of the ways she says things now after what happened with Garcelle when Garcelle then shared with her her perspective around the
Yeah.
getting her
Okay. All
donation.
right.
And I
Okay.
think Garcelle said something to her. So I think Dorit's just like, I don't want to ever like be misconstrued like that again. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut on things I'm not aware of. Now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe Dorit might say, you know what I'm gonna do when I go to Bose's house, because we're good friends now. I'm gonna buy her some amazing champagne flutes because I just I just
Well,
want to
I
get her
didn't
nicer
notice
ones.
anybody else even talking about it, but I couldn't take my eyes
I
off of
will
it.
also tell you that there are some people that like that for champagne. I've
Oh,
seen it.
really? Oh,
And
I
I will also
haven't.
tell you that I
I
saw it when I
haven't.
lived in Miami when I lived with people that were Cuban and Puerto Rican. So I don't know. We have no idea. Maybe it's more of a I have no idea. She's also didn't she say she was Haitian, Jamaican,
No, I thought she said she was Kenyan.
Kenyan, sorry. So
Yeah.
yeah, so she knows her like she's not many people that I know that are black in the US that don't know their ancestry. Like she knows where she came from around the world before she came to the US. And so I don't know. I just don't want to I don't think that I don't Dorit has more going on. Clearly, as we saw.
Yeah. Anyways, I just was an observation that
Yeah,
they
no,
weren't
because Dorit's
drinking the
very
proper
critical of
glass,
people.
and you had to go on and make
Well,
it
because
about
Dorit's gotten in
this and
trouble over
that
the
and
years.
this. Well, it shouldn't
Dorit is
be. It should
critical
be
of
that
everyone.
simple.
Dorit
That's
is
fine
critical of
with me.
everyone.
I thought it was very interesting when Sutton and Kyle went out, and Sutton is speaking to her like, "Look, it's all nicey nice now,
Yeah.
but." It's gonna get nasty. And you know what? Just like she said to what was her name? Dubrow.
Heather Dubrow.
No, no, the one that says he will never emotionally
Oh,
fulfill you.
Dubois.
Dubois, Dubois. Okay, okay, Dubois. Um, now you are getting divorced. You are
Okay.
separated.
Okay.
Sutton is right to say you're not it's like PK says at the
It's the
end.
same thing. That was the common thread between the two.
Yes, yeah, that it's different now. You might have
Totally.
thought that you didn't have to worry about what you were spending and you were going to get this, that, and the other thing, but it will become about money. And
Yes.
guys don't like giving theirs up. End
Yeah.
of story. And Sutton was actually giving her good advice, and I hope Kyle takes it
I hope so
she cares,
too.
if she cares, if
I
she
hope so
cares.
too. I
Because
listen, I
it
just want
was
to I want to just say about my Dorit thing. I just think Dorit is not being as outspoken, and I do believe you may not agree with this. I do believe that Dorit has been outspoken with everyone always since the minute she came on the show. She's very critical, especially about
yes,
materialistic things.
agreed.
And I think that she put her foot in her mouth at times when she, in a way, was a little bit of a Karen, like Garcelle said.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I
yeah.
think maybe we may have just seen Dorit shift into I wouldn't serve champagne in a glass like that, but she's learned not to say it. And I do believe that there's a little bit of, especially when the person doesn't have the same story as her, or she hasn't known them that long. I think she's just learned like everyone's different. And it takes
Yeah,
people time,
I don't know.
you know?
Anyways, I thought it was interesting that Mauricio had replaced his picture with his
That was odd.
wife.
That was weird.
That was
That's odd.
so weird. It was kind of cool. They went over to Kyle's with the Amazon. Now, Kathy Hilton was full on hysterical. Amazon, Amazon. Wait, I've got to get in character. Amazon, Amazon delivery, Amazon delivery, Amazon delivery. I mean, and it was just funny. But the funny part was that's where it is being produced, and I
Oh,
wish
yeah.
that they wouldn't pretend so much, because Kyle isn't just opening her door for every single person who rings it and says Amazon, Amazon. I mean, come on. Oh, she'd have 500 people arriving at her house. So to me, that was like where she's like, oh, let me get the dogs. Yeah, because she knows the
But
film
there's a
crew's there.
difference. There's a
She knows
difference.
they're coming. Her daughter's there. It's
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah, yeah, yeah,
filmed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But what if the gate, like, what if someone was like, what if there was like someone part of it? Like, what if the producers were like, I'm expecting an Amazon delivery. We forgot a piece of equipment.
I'm just saying that
The
I
producers might be
believe.
involved, but Kyle might not have known that the producers were involved.
No, I think she knew they were coming. She was dressed. There was a film crew in her
You
house.
should be
She
one. You
knew.
should just go and do it.
She, because here's the thing. I guarantee you that almost all of her packages get left at the gate. She doesn't let everybody in who got an Amazon.
I think she also, do you not think that there's a gate outside the gate?
I don't know. I don't know how.
You don't think that those people all have like, you
You
don't
so
think,
you think she's in a gated community and then she has a gate in addition to the
yes.
gated community. Well,
I
it
can tell
doesn't
you where
matter.
Erica Jane lived in Pasadena. I'm sure that the other 10 houses that were behind the gate can't just walk up to her front door either.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm going to say that I can't believe she just allows anybody who rings the bell to say Amazon and she lets them in
No,
without
I think that that part was produced, but I don't
yes,
think
that's
that
all I'm
there's,
saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I
well, I
mean?
don't know if they make it through the gate and they're an Amazon truck. That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah, but
like,
you're assuming she's in a gated
I do think so.
community.
That's what I'm telling
I
you.
don't know she is. They keep
Well,
on
I'm telling
showing
you, I
her
think that she
gate.
is.
Well, we're gonna find out where it is. The pajamas, the whole bit. They never made that pizza. They might have made pizza. Nobody ate it. They
Yeah,
don't eat
totally. And they had
pizza.
different kinds for different people. I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
did you send around a group chat message? This makes
yeah.
sense.
It was that whole thing was too much.
Totally.
So let's get to. I do think Kyle worries a lot. Um, but she didn't have to worry about any random person coming into her house because she was filming. She was safe.
Yeah, okay.
Like anybody she let into the door, she's got a film crew there. Nothing bad's going to happen
That's
unless
what I'm
it's a
saying.
massive home invasion.
Yeah, and she probably has staff that's there all day long too.
Yeah, of course. But I did find it interesting that at when they all left, that she took these pocket doors and closed them and locked them, which I thought was weird within her house. But beyond that was all like her glass going out to outside. And I did sort of wonder if that was like another little um barrier of protection
I
from
think so. I'm sure.
yeah, no, that's how I felt, but they made a point of like shutting them and then clasping that lock.
That's probably so that people that watch the show, the criminals out there, know that she locks it. Don't try to play any games.
Yeah, that's all I could think of.
No, have you seen the Bling Ring? The 67 different movies they made about it?
No, what? What's
Back
that?
in the day with Lindsay Lohan and Paris and
No.
Alexis Nyers, the best reality show ever. Pretty Wild. Have you ever seen Pretty Wild?
No. Sorry, I haven't.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
It was the show that they were going to be the fake Kardashians, like the BJ's
Okay,
brand
so
of the
what does that
Kardashians.
have to do with
One of
anything?
the kids was then like while they started filming, they had their own reality show, and then all of a sudden the police showed up at the front door on episode 2 and arrested the daughter. The mother and the father had no idea. They thought they were just filming a reality show, and their kid was involved in stealing from Paris Hilton and Rachel
Oh,
Bilson.
wow.
and all the big people in LA. It was a big deal. They have all these documentaries. That's why they have so much more protection now. They jump the walls when like Paris would be out at
Oh,
a nightclub DJing and they'd go in. They found Rachel Bilson's door was just wide open, unlocked. They stole from all
wow.
these
I didn't know
celebrities years
any of
ago.
this. I didn't
Oh,
know any of
Google
that.
it. Good
I will. I
time.
will. I will. I will. Now let's get to the most poignant. And as I said to Andrew during our New York review, it was very
Mm,
strange to me how they picked Thanksgiving week to have a lot of heavy conversations on
yes.
Bravo because in Beverly Hills we had a very heavy real moment with
Oh, yes.
PK and Dorit. And then in New York we had things about a woman's right to choose. And then, well, in Salt Lake, if you don't watch it, we had to deal with drug addiction. So it was the week of Thanksgiving. I thought it was a little heavy, but we had to kind of like get those topics out. I also
This is
felt
the difference between on and I. I love heavy shit.
yeah, but no, but I want to get into joy.
Yeah, I know that, but
It's
when
like
you're,
this is like
but
the
here's the deal.
Thanksgiving's over. We're into the month of December.
PK,
Let's have
Dorit
just
can't be joyful
Mariah
right now. So you
Carey.
see, Dorit's not joyful. So she shouldn't be on the show being joyful.
No, I'm not
Mary
saying that.
Cosby's not joyful. So she shouldn't be on the show being joyful. She never is anyway. But she's really not joyful. So I believe if we want to see the reality, we have to see the reality. The good, bad, the
Yeah,
ugly.
I get that, but
Now,
I would
Aaron, you
like
didn't have to bring up
just
your abortion.
okay. I would just like this month. I only really want to deal with Mariah Carey
That's cute.
singing.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's how I feel. Okay, so they arrived. First indication to me that even though what he said, it was the afternoon, obviously.
Yeah.
It was bright sunshine out. So it wasn't like this was an evening date between them. It was obvious they were having like a late lunch, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And she was like right to the Belvedere. And I just thought you're having a serious, this is me, having a serious conversation with your separated husband. It's just gone public. You're public figures. Order a Diet Coke.
I don't think she thought it was as serious as it was. She did
Oh,
the
okay. Okay.
confessional after the scene.
Right.
He then made some comments that took her by surprise.
Yeah. And to
We
me,
also have to remember the editing. Like,
yeah, we don't know what it really, but no, no, no. It's all the editing in the world couldn't change the
she could have
fact
asked for a drink after that comment was made.
that PK has checked out of that relationship.
No, totally. But I'm saying the
Yeah.
drink could have been ordered after he made those comments. They could have just edited it like that. She was sitting in the
Oh,
booth.
yeah. Well, I just think PK has checked out. Now, I said to Andrew, I'm surprised because I thought when you're in it, he said he's in a 12-step program, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't they tell you not to change anything in your life for a year?
No, because there's lots of toxic things in your life that need to be changed for you to stay
All
sober.
right.
They say that you should be alone.
No.
And I've always found that to be odd. I think that instead of it being another AL, not alone, aligned, like the things in your life need to be aligned. So, like,
No.
for example, I
Okay.
said to you that I got very lucky when I got sober, that COVID was like
Happened.
still very
Right.
happening. Like, I always say that COVID got me sober or COVID drove me to my rock bottom and COVID allowed me to get sober. Because if I
Right.
hadn't
Because
been
nothing was open either to go party.
exactly. I
It
couldn't make as
helped.
many excuses in my
Right.
substance use abuse, so I was kind of like strapped on
You
making
weren't
excuses.
traveling
I
and
wasn't
all
able to
that.
like go out with
Nobody
friends,
was
turn to
getting
people.
together.
Yes,
Right.
I
All of
couldn't like
that. So it
distract
helped.
myself. I had to
So
take responsibility.
it happened
And
at the right
then,
time.
yeah, it would be great if I could say it. Yeah, and then and then COVID also then gave me walls to rebuild. And so distraction was limited for me and my partner. So
Right.
it's something where like
Right. Yeah, I get it.
and Brad, my partner, isn't a big drinker. So, like, he wouldn't have been that kind of a distraction. But still, the nights that he would choose to go out after a rehearsal or something would have triggered me because I wouldn't have been strong enough to be like, yeah, he does that. I can't. And so I only imagine what PK is going through as think about it, this is fresh and new. They're living apart. She hasn't changed anything. She's filming the show. She's drinking, clearly. Look at her. She's filming the show. She's drinking. She has a busy schedule.
And as
She
she said,
can't
he would take off all the time anyway. So it hasn't
for
changed the
work,
home that much.
for
Yeah.
work, but he also might have coped with
No,
the
she
loneliness.
said that they would have fights and he would take off for two
Yes, but
weeks.
there was the drinking. So now he can't drink. So he's done
Right.
drinking.
Okay.
He's changed his life. He can't do the same things.
Right.
I don't know what he's doing now. Might be just sitting in the Beverly Hills hotel, sitting there, looking at the wall, counting the dusks in the ceiling. Who knows? He needs his wife to change with him for the temporary. Now, it doesn't mean that she can't drink. It just means the lifestyle she has of filming 6 days a week, whatever it is, having to go out to events as a public figure is not a public figure. Is not helpful to someone who also used to do all those things,
Well,
drink, and that was their life. They can't do those things. So
I
she is not
understand that,
there.
and I understand that, but also, as he said, and it's definitely had a detrimental effect on him, in that when they got married, she was an unknown girl.
Yeah.
And now she has become somewhat of a celebrity in the Bravo universe. But
I think
here,
that drove the drinking.
no, no, no. I
Yeah.
think what drove the drinking is so many of his issues being exposed because she made them a
Oh, yeah, yeah,
household
yeah, yeah,
name.
yeah.
All of a sudden, people are going, oh, he's got gambling debts. Oh, he's been in bankruptcy. Oh, he's defaulted.
He
He's got
got a
eight.
DUI and there was a girl in the car.
Yeah, he's $800,000 in debt. It's all a sham. Those things were brought to the surface. And that's even more of a reason why he would continue to drink because all of this
And he
stuff is
built up
coming to the surface.
resentment. And then, like, when he
He
stopped
does. There
drinking,
is a part of him that resents the fact she's become a household
totally,
name.
but you need to chill for a second. We're talking about apples and oranges, the drinking and then the sobriety. The drinking, everything you're saying is true. Like,
No,
in the
you
sense,
mean the drinking and the
can I
celebrity.
finish?
Yeah, the celebrity.
Yes.
Yeah,
He used drinking to cope with the celebrity impacting
right.
him. He can't drink anymore. So he has to deal with it in front of him.
Yes, but the celebrity was compounded with people finding out about his
Yes.
secrets. Right. Okay.
You're just not letting me finish.
No, it's just not that
Listeners,
he's a
you're watching. No,
celebrity.
she just needs to keep jumping in.
That's
Now
my
in
show
sobriety, you
too.
can't use alcohol to cope with everything that
Without
he
right.
still is causing because she hasn't made any changes. It's
None.
not like she said, I'm stepping off the show right now so that you can deal with this part of your life in private. He knows that it's going to be public and on display for people. So for him to
Uh-huh.
limit that, he says,
Totally.
we're not going to talk. We're not going to be
Right.
together. I'm going to live my life as private as I can. And if you're filming a show and I'm not with you and we're not talking, it's less and less of what you have to see. The same way that I think Morgan was very fine having her music on the show. But then when her
Mm.
name started to become part of the divorce storyline and the infidelity
She
and the
doesn't want to be
Morgan
part of it.
doesn't want to be a part of that.
Right. I
So
get
it's like
that.
people,
Yeah.
just like PK probably thought the show was a great idea to get Boy George more gigs.
Yeah.
And then when his personal life became under attack, that's when it was no go. Now,
Right.
Morgan doesn't have the same privilege that PK did, which was he was the married husband of the castmate. Kyle, like, there wasn't anything financial in it for Morgan. It was all this. It was like, it was good until it wasn't. And for
Right.
PK, it was the same thing. And so I think he now has seen, okay, sobriety has probably made him closer to the kids, as weird as that sounds, but he probably has better relationships with them. The time is better. He's probably already seeing an ROI on his work because I'm sure he wasn't as great of a manager and as great of like an entertainment person in doing business when he was hungover every day if he was drinking that much. I know that feeling. And so what he's saying now is that so many parts of my life have improved,
Okay.
but not my marriage.
No, I actually think it's gotten worse.
Yeah, because she
Right.
hasn't made any adjustments. So now it's the number one issue that happens. She thinks sobriety is a him thing. Well, you don't know anything about this. So that's why I'm trying to
No,
explain.
no, no. But I also think that not only did all of that, but she has changed with becoming a celebrity.
Has
She's
she changed or
changed.
has she shown exactly who she is? Maybe
No, I believe she's changed. And he said that before, our marriage
for
and our
him.
family used to be the most important. And now the most important thing in your life is being a celebrity.
Okay, but what about PK? This is my thing too. You say that it's just because of money. It's not. It's not. PK also gets freedom and gets to go out with girls on business trips, and she was the mom at home. So I just
Yeah.
think that there's a level of, let's just call it what it is. I don't think Dorit and PK are making that different of money these days.
No, she's probably making more.
Thank you. So there's been
Yeah.
a huge power shift.
I mean, you never hear about his other clients. There's no way he's making enough on Boy George.
No way. No
I
way.
mean, that's the thing. You
No
know what
way.
I
So my
mean?
point is when you consider all of this, and I get testy about this just because I do believe that as some people are going to think PK, people that don't know what's up, they're going to think that PK is wrong here. The people that are like the big Dorit fans. And maybe, I don't know.
Is
I don't really
anybody a
know.
big Dorit fan?
I just think that like there's nothing wrong going into it. What it is PK has gotten good advice. PK would either have had a horrible divorce that wouldn't be able to have scenes like this where they're not talking in negative ways to each other. They're just having sad moments that are real, or he would have relapsed, one or the other.
Yeah, I agree. That I can see.
So they're doing something, and it may hurt Dorit right now, but trust me, Dorit, it's much better that you're having these moments of sadness when you're having these real talks on TV than if you were the reason why he relapsed, or if you and him had to have 10 times worse arguments on TV because you guys have already blown the cap off of keeping it private. There's no way you can show up at a reunion anymore and say you and PK are the best ever. No one knows.
Well,
Everyone.
and not only that, I think he probably blames some of his debt on her.
Maybe, yeah. There's resentment. Trust me. There's resentment.
Yeah, because I believe that she outspends
The
their
robbery that clearly has impacted their kids too, but that's just not brought on TV. Like,
I think it's
that's
mostly
because
the
she's on a
fact that
show. She's the target.
I believe it's mostly the fact that they're living a lifestyle that they maybe not completely can afford. I mean, he did pull up to the restaurant in a brand new Bentley.
Yeah, like, but I'm starting to believe these Bentleys are gifted.
Yeah, they have. I mean, there's too many of them.
Too many of them to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
around.
yeah. And I mean, we've heard about they've had a lot of money problems, so I don't know where he'd even get the credit to get the Bentley.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that I think that there's a lot here, and I think the best thing for them to do right now is to separate. And I just think it's very convenient for Dorit to want to talk to him all the time. She's the one that gets to live her life as usual. He's the
Mm,
one that has to live his life
at a
completely
hotel.
different. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't have his house. He doesn't have alcohol. He doesn't like, there's like,
I see
again,
that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's different. And I just think, as I've said, I have a lot of empathy for Dorit because, and I say this directly to my partner, so I'm not, no shame in saying it. I don't think that Brad and I would have made it if COVID wasn't happening.
Okay.
Maybe
I,
today, but he wasn't mature enough in that moment. And I wasn't mature enough to say, I need you to sacrifice for me,
okay.
because that's very bold to ask for that. And I don't know if he was mature enough to do it at that moment. Now, today would have been a different
Mm,
story, but
okay.
in that moment, we needed a third party to say, we're not going to let you guys have personal choices that could hurt the other person in this fragile moment. And I always look at that as a blessing. And I just feel badly for them that they don't have that. And it's times 20 because of the show.
Well, that's nice. I'm gonna say that Dorit believes that this is temporary, and
Yeah, she
PK
wants it to be.
knows
Dorit's
it's
selfish.
permanent.
She wants
It's permanent.
Dorit thinks that PK's problems are completely because of PK. PK knows that his choices to drink are because of his life, and his life is Dorit and their kids. And the choices of Dorit impact his life. So therefore, he says, I can control my drinking, but I can't control the choices of this person that's part of my life. Therefore, I need to, as Teresa Giudice says, cut the cancer out.
Yeah. No, I do not believe there'll be a reconciliation with them.
But of course, Dorit wants it. She
If
thinks, oh, PK's going to get sober and then I'm going to get sober, PK, and life's going to be amazing.
well,
PK's like, oh, no, Dorit, like if you
no,
change the things about you in the process, if
well,
you
he
went
let her
back,
know
yeah,
when he walked in. Oh, this is yeah, you've got new clothes. Yeah, this is single PK. And he let her know right away.
he has to. That's his identity. It's very selfish for people that want people to hold on to the identities that they need to change to be healthy. Like I say that to Brad all the time. I'm like, I'm not as fun as I was when I drank. Now, that doesn't mean I can't be fun again. It just means that I have to find different ways to be fun. I'm not going to be
Fun.
able to be fun the same way. I needed alcohol to be that person.
Right, right.
Maybe
Mm.
PK needed booze to go buy all the things for Dorit. Maybe now he's a little more sensible. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think he made a lot of bad choices
Yes.
when he was drinking. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of bad
And
choices.
Dorit
Gambled.
benefited from a lot of those. until she didn't.
Right. And like anything, um, they've been married for 10, 11 years. They've got a couple of kids. Sure, it's not the same relationship as when they first got married. She was a young hottie. He was an older
Yeah.
guy. They were living a
They were both
cosmopolitan
humble. They were
lifetime.
grateful for each other. There was humbleness
Yeah.
there. There was, and then they both, but they were still hot,
She
good
was
looking.
thrilled. She had a guy who was like connected you know, showbiz.
Out in the, yeah,
And
and
he
out in
was like, oh,
the
look at this beautiful
clubs,
young girl.
the
Yeah.
scene.
Cultured, the whole bit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they were,
Yeah.
I found an advantage in each other.
Yeah.
And
And again,
now
no one said, I'm not
her
saying it's easy.
advantage is she's
There's
not his
lives on
arm
display.
candy.
Their
Listen,
life's on display. Yeah.
she's also not just his arm candy anymore.
He doesn't need it.
I think he did. I think a lot of men do.
Yeah, but he
So
doesn't need it anymore. He
he
can get it himself. He's a star. He's famous. He's big. There's so many
he was
dumb,
famous before.
but there's tons of people now that see it in action and they think, I hate to say this. I think they've learned to love each other. But do you think that little Brittany over there in Jersey first thought, oh, Frank Catania, that guy, oh, his wife, his ex-wife, she's on the Housewives. Maybe I'll get on the Housewives.
Oh, well, I don't know
Louis,
about that.
you think he loved Teresa? Oh no, she's on the Housewives. Maybe I can actually
That
become
I
the
see.
ruler
That I
of
see. Okay,
Rulala.
who's your mess?
Oh, me and you, we're both messy.
I like that.
Yeah, I know. Listeners, tell us if you like it when we spat in the comments. I have to say that unfortunately, and I'm gonna get some hate for this if anyone's still listening. But because of my personal experience, Dorit, you're a mess. You need to read some articles on supporting someone who's getting sober. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Personal,
That's
personal.
reasonable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
How
like
about
that.
you?
Um, mm, this
The
I
different
don't know.
mindset. We usually can find someone who's like physically messy or like
Like there's
acted
just
messy.
messy,
The
and
Beverly
I
Hills
think
chicks are a little more.
yeah, they're so together because they're all Hollywood
That's why when they crack, it's
educated.
even better.
Yeah, they're so Hollywood educated. They know it is really a production to them. They are playing roles on TV.
And driving roles in the streets.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so I don't really have one that sticks
Okay.
out this episode, to be
How
honest.
about Mauricio for the picture?
Yeah, that was messy.
Okay.
Mauricio, come on, Mo.
Yeah, Mauricio for the picture. We thought more of you. Follow, like, subscribe, comment, and tell us whose side you're on. On first.